Hey, and welcome back to On Your Terms. I'm your host, Sam Vander, Wielen, and today we're talking all about being a detective and not a prosecutor in your business. No, I'm not actually talking about being an actual detective or an actual prosecutor, but we're talking about the mindset of being a detective versus a prosecutor in your business. This is a mindset shift, a mindset approach, I guess, that I think has been so helpful to me in running and growing my business in the last 7 years. So this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a super quick episode. So this is a good one to just like go take a little quick walk or stand up and walk around, get some blood flowing for the day. So you have to know too that on Thursday, I am making a huge announcement. Thursday, February 8th, I'm making a huge announcement, something I haven't done in a very long time. You're going to have a very quick window to get in on it. It's going to be free. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on February 8th. When I make this big announcement, if you get my emails, you'll see it there, obviously on social media too, and then here on the podcast. I'm also just so happy selfishly today because we're having our first snow day in a long time. So it's very normal to get a lot of snow in New York, but what's abnormal is that we have not gotten a lot of snow in New York in like the last 2 years. And we didn't even get enough snow to really like close things down, but you can tell everybody's just so desperate for a snow day that we're all like making it a snow day and we're making it happen, even though we probably only got like 2 or 3 inches, really not very much for us. But I'm just savoring it. I decided to stay home. I had planned to go to the library and write the book today, but like, I'm just going to stay home. I'm going to make hot chocolate this afternoon. I'm recording podcast episodes. I took a walk in the snow with Huddy for a long time. We went down to the beach. I love going on the beach when it's snowing. It's so cool. So I'm just selfishly very happy about that. Okay, so why be a detective? Why not be a prosecutor in our business? Why is this whole thing even an issue? Well, detectives, let's remember that detectives, technically speaking, actually, I'm going to start out by saying that what I'm talking about today is all like, just let me make the metaphor and let me make the example. I personally can tear this whole thing apart with being like, some detectives do have an agenda. Not all prosecutors have an agenda and like all of that. Just like go with me on the generalization of what it means to be a detective and the generalization of what it means to be a prosecutor. So let's just go with it. Okay. We're not picking it apart. So detectives, in theory, approach a case with an open mind, right? They don't have any dog in the fight as to like pin somebody with it. When they approach a case, they know that something happened and they want to know what happened. Their only determination is like what happened here. As to who did it and how it happened and why it happened and all that, they, technically speaking, go in with an open mind and they're just looking for evidence to determine what happened and who did it. Prosecutors, on the other hand, get a case once there's been usually a determination as to who did committed the crime. And so a prosecutor's job is to make a case and argue based on a stance that they've now taken, that this person is the person who committed the murder, and now it is their job to just prove that they're the person that committed the murder. They're no longer interested in whether or not that's true, right? They've already made the determination. When it comes to our businesses, though, it's crucial that we are a detective and not a prosecutor. Detectives work out of curiosity, right? Not predetermination, not saying like, I think, I heard that YouTube is successful, therefore I'm going to do it. Instead, when we approach our businesses like detectives, we are curious about what our customers think. We're open to feedback. We're open to whether or not it's true that a certain platform or a way of producing content is actually a good idea, successful, or fun for us, right? We're open to these things. We're open to seeing how things go. We're open to testing strategies. We're open to testing certain theories that we might have or our like gut intuition and seeing like, will this work? Will people like it? Will I even like it? I think detectives also like to see things through to the end. And that's something that really resonates with me as a business owner, is that detectives are going to, not going to stop until they find the answer, right? And the way that translates for me as a business owner is that I want to test things out with that open and curious mind, but I also want to see things through. I want to know that this thing works. I don't want to jump to conclusions or make a lot of herky-jerky moves in my business where I'm on YouTube for a week and then I quit and then I'm on Instagram for a month and then I'm off Instagram for 6 months. I want to see things through. I want to test things out and be more of a detective. I want to be more curious and collect the data and then really look and see whether something's working or not. I also want to analyze what we see in the data to make conclusions. So just like a detective would look at all the evidence that's presented to him or her as they're investigating a crime and then come to some sort of conclusion, I want us to look at the data of like what's happening on social media or what's happening on your with your email list or on your podcast in order for us to make smart decisions to move forward. I want to use the past data to influence what decision we decide to take moving forward. I think being open and being open-minded and being a bit more curious and non-judgmental about how something might turn out instead of putting so much pressure on the outcome and the results would do wonders for our businesses. So, this is just a quick little shorty episode. I've got big news coming for you on Thursday, February 8th. I hope you will keep your eyes peeled for that. I can't wait to tell you what it is. You'll find out very soon. But if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to forward it to a friend. And I would also love for you to reply to my email or send me a DM on Instagram and let me know if you liked this episode, if you're going to commit to being more of a detective and a little bit less of a prosecutor in your business. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I can't wait to drop the big news for you this Thursday, February 8th. See you soon. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Terms podcast. Make sure to follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. You can also check out all of our podcast episodes, show notes, links, and more at samvanderwielen.com/podcast. You can learn more about legally protecting your business and take my free legal workshop, 5 Steps to Legally Protect and Grow Your Online Business at samvanderwielen.com. And to stay connected and follow along, follow me on Instagram at samvanderwielen and send me a DM to say hi. Just remember that although I am an attorney, I am not your attorney, and I am not offering you legal advice in today's episode. This episode and all of my episodes are informational and educational only. It is not a substitute for seeking out your own advice from your own lawyer. And please keep in mind that I can't offer you legal advice. I don't ever offer any legal services, but I think I offer some pretty good information.